Hello, welcome to Crafting a Country Life. I'm Andrea Marshall, and I'm jumping on today to share some thrifted items that I picked up last weekend and thought that I would participate in the hashtag Thrifty Thursday open collaboration that's hosted by Sherry at Turquoise Dreamings. And these items I'm planning on using and doing some mid-century journal making with. The first item that I found was an old envelope, and inside are some little cutouts in vintage fabric. These look to be about in the 1940s or 50s. Different plaids and prints and so on. And these are part of a project that it looks like the person that owned this originally has sent away for a pattern. And it's a quilting pattern that is for making this little Scotty dog quilt, which I thought was so charming. And of course the pattern pieces are all here, and the instructions are on the back side. And here's a larger version of the quilt square with the Scotty dog on it. So it looks like whomever was working on this cut out some of the Scotty dog blanket pieces, and you can see that her little cardboard pattern piece here with all of her lovely little fabrics. So I thought that was really a nice little find. That was the first thing. And then I also found, this is all in the same shop, I found a couple of patterns. These, I would love to be able to find more of them, but they seem to be, the mid-century ones seem to be very pricey when you do find them, if you're lucky enough to find them. In my area, thrift shops don't really carry a lot of these. So I guess the next best thing would be to look at, garage sales and tag sales and things like that. But anyway, this one looks to be like a 1960s pattern. And for my purposes, mostly it's the envelope that I'm interested in. There are some pattern pieces cut out inside. This one looks to be about an early 1980s pattern here. It's an old McCall's. So those were there as well. And then I found a few sewing notions and bought these mainly for the beautiful cards that they're on. These are all wool mending threads. And the cards are so charming and very old. I mean, they look Dahey Brothers, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. It says here on the tag, 5 cents for each of these. Whoops. So there are 4 in this little bundle. And then here's another set here, Needlepoint and Crewel Wools by Busilla, 20 cents a piece. And the cards are just so pretty. And wouldn't these even be fun just to trace around out of cardstock or something and use? Yeah, anyway, so that, and then this is the other one. There's a few more mending threads here by Chadwick's, Cynthia Mending Wool, and this one here. Yeah, so that, and then this little bag of vintage Jingle Bells. And of course, they're nice and heavy. And the Jingle Bells that you can buy in the craft stores today aren't nearly as nice as these. These have a beautiful weight to them. They're nice quality metal. And they have a pretty little design where you can hear the jingle come out. There's a beautiful little shape there. So those I thought were, and they were only, I think, $2 for the bag. I mean, if you were to buy a bag of brand new bells at a craft store today, you'd pay $5. So these are nice to get, especially for working with, holiday projects with vintage cardstock and such. Then I picked up this Pillsbury's Best Butter Cookie Cookbook, 20 cents. There's a little bee up in the corner. And lots of recipes inside. And cute little illustrations and photographs. So these pages would be fun to use in journal making as well. Here's another booklet, Shortcut Cooking. And again, similar with, the different recipes, photographs. And the pages have that beautiful worn look around the edge. They're sort of brown. This will be fun to use. And then 2 copies of this sandwich manual. I think these were $1 a piece. A bunch of them were in a basket on the shelf. So this will be fun to try as well. Okay, so there's that. 2 of those. And I also found in the same shop 3 copies of old magazines from the 1950s. This is a 1956-57 Fall and Winter Needlework and Crafts magazine. And inside are some beautiful mid-century images, ads, text, knitting directions, crochet, old, look at these beautiful old aprons. So these pages will be fun to use in journal making. And you know, you can cut out some of these as well to do embellishments with, tags and that sort of thing. And then this one here, this is an old issue of Collier's magazine. Here, the magazines in those days were quite large. The format was very big. And this one is a little bit on the fragile side. Pages are kind of brittle. But here's Princess Grace, an article on Princess Grace. Some really fun illustrations. And the text. This would be another fun one to try. Okay, there's that. I won't flip through the whole thing. This one has a lot of articles about people in it. Not as many illustrations as some of these other magazines. And then I found 2 copies of an 1957 May 17 magazine. So I'll open this one up and show you. There we go. And again, some beautiful illustrations, advertising, articles. A little bit of the content in here. And the fashions from the 50s are just so pretty. That's that one. Yeah, so these will be really nice to use in some of my collage work. And the other one is very similar. This one is the January 1957 issue of the 17 magazine. And in addition to those, I did find some textiles. And most of what I'm going to show you came in a bundle. These were $10 for the entire bundle. So I thought that was fairly reasonable. Here's a 1960s placemat with some pom-pom fringe on the end. And it's true to those 1960s colors, the harvest gold, early 1970s as well, and the mustard color, avocado green. Here's a set of crocheted, they look like little placemats. A set of, I think there's 3 or 4 of those. Okay. And this looks like a napkin, old napkin. So a cream colored background with brown printing, just a little ditzy floral. This will be fun to use in some journal making as well, some mixed media projects. It was tied up with this glitzy ribbon. So we'll put that in the stash. It might come in handy for something someday. We'll see. I'm not as partial to glitter, but, and then this 1960s dresser scarf. It's kind of a lacy pattern in sort of a dark ecru color with some ruffling around the edge. Here's a close-up of the pattern. So that was in the same bundle. Oh, a set of 2. Here's another one. Here's the other napkin. And this is another table scarf. This one is linen. It's plain. There's no embroidery on it. but has a beautiful edge, and there is a pattern woven into the linen that's quite lovely. It looks like an M's and O's. I'm a hand weaver, so I'm familiar with what the patterns are, but it looks to be an M's and O's pattern. Very pretty. So the fabric will come in handy. There's a few holes here and there, so may be able to use this for some smaller projects by cutting it up. Here's a pink one. No embroidery on this one either. It's a bureau scarf, and it's got some white handwork around the edges, but the fabric is soft and shiny and drapey. Here's a little, not sure, some type of a table mat probably. Very colorful. Vintage 1960s it looks to be. Oh, this is probably the right side here. Cotton, soft, fluffy cotton. And then an old 1960s dishcloth. It doesn't look like it's been used. I mean, it's soiled. It needs to be washed, but it looks brand new. It's sort of a waffle weave. Has those traditional avocado and harvest gold color. A beautiful little hand crochet pot holder. These are just so pretty. Here's, I'm not sure what this is. It doesn't seem to have a strap. Otherwise, I thought, well, maybe it's a baby bonnet. Unless it's a bowl cozy of some sort. But that's hand crocheted. And some more doilies. Crocheted little doilies. Here's a square one here. And here's a pineapple doily. And this one's quite large. This was in the bundle as well. There's that. It's a little hard to see. There we go. And small napkin with some beautiful hand weaving in pink and lavender. It's really pretty. It's done on linen. And then here's another. This looks like a drawstring bag, or maybe it's a pillow cover. It has ties on the reverse side and an opening with a casing. And again, this looks to be, it's possible that it could have been hand woven. But it has sort of a Native American design in it, in a blue thread. And another vintage 1950s, 60s plaid placemat with Christmas colors. Another old linen towel with an Asian-inspired design in red. Looks like trees. There. And here's a lovely little embroidered piece. Very colorful. The edging is so colorful too on that one. And this is another plain linen napkin. Or actually, I think it's a hand towel. Yeah. And this one here. I think this may be a card table, tablecloth. It's on linen, but it has some beautiful handwork, hand embroidery. And these tiny little flowers are padded. I think they're silk, and they're padded and stuffed and stitched on. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. And a few more things. Most of these are a little heavier weight. These linens are not super fine. They're a little coarser in their weave. Placemats. Set of two. Butterflies on one side. Dragonflies on the other. And here's another little, I'm not sure, some type of a lace piece. I want to say white work, but it's not embroidered. It's quite open on that. Unless it's tatted, I'm not really sure. And a makeup cloth, embroidered, it says lipstick embroidered at the bottom. And some filet crochet, looks like a placemat. This is so pretty, and the hours of work that go into making these back in the day, days before television. And here's a set of placemats with Scotty Dog on it. These look to be just like a coarse hand woven kind of a fabric. Not really sure what I'm going to do with those. They're kind of heavy. And this is an embroidered piece here. They used to sell kits for these back in the 60s. And it doesn't feel like it's 100% cotton. It's probably a blend, but the stitching is really pretty. What else? Oh, this is just a single linen napkin. And then this pretty little holiday piece here, printed, probably a napkin. Isn't that pretty? Here's the mate to the lipstick cloth. And this looks like another holiday handkerchief. Isn't that pretty? I love this little Scotty dog on there. And then this last piece here to be like a dinner napkin. This isn't personally my taste, but it was part of the bundle. I'm sure I could find some use for it. And that is, I think, is it for this haul. I hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll see you again soon when I have my next thrifting haul. Take care. Have a great day. Bye for now.